Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast Retro Life Review Movies in the 1980s. My name is Chris, host of your show, and with me here today, as always, he is one of
Sensei.
he is one of the best of the best. Let me tell you, Travis
Oh
Rollins,
yeah, Sensei Rollins.
Sensei Rollins. You are my Shidoshi.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Shidoshi,
talking about. My
Shidoshi Kurt.
favorite food. My favorite food after a good afternoon of training is macaroni and cheese.
Nothing like a healthy dish of macaroni and cheese to set somebody straight.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right. I tell
Yeah.
you what, we are going to go over the movie Best of the Best today. I've been really wanting to do this one for quite a while. I love this movie.
Yeah.
It's such a fun movie to watch. But before we dive headfirst into that, man, tell us about your awesome weekend you had.
Oh, it was chill. I was hoping to get the full 4 days off, but I didn't. But
Oh, you
yeah,
did.
nah. We went to the lake and hung out on a boat for a little bit, and then been playing this super cool new game called Pal World that my 11-year-old got me playing. It's like a mixture of Pokemon and I wouldn't say so. It's the feel of some of a survival game with the building and all. You got to build
Yeah.
and you got to eat and everything else. You got to take care of your pals, but the pals are all like mock up Pokemon. Like they're obvious, that they've been modeled after the Pokemon. So Connor and I have been playing that for we probably got about 6 8 hours in it now. Last night and today both.
I've heard of the game before from several people. I've never played it before.
It
I've
is a
heard of
lot
it
of
though.
fun. It's really chill. You can go as hard at it as you want to, or just sit back and build, or you can go fight. You can, like you can do whatever you want to play. Like, and the other cool thing about it is you don't have to invest hours and hours. You can hop on it and be on it for an hour or two, and then save it and come back off. Like the developers did a real great job at it, making it to where you can do it as kind of a, like I said, maybe 30 minutes to an hour and have some fun, or you can grind out, a weekend.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool. How was
For
your
the
weekend?
record, for the record, we are not being promoted by Power World or anything.
Oh no, not at
Although if
all.
Power World is listening and you want to promote us, more
Heck
power
yeah.
to you, man. Hey, we're not
More
going to
fun
say
too.
no.
Yeah, because that reminds me of a game too back in the day called Monster Rancher, way before Pokemon. You put the
Monster
discs into
Rancher.
PS1. Yeah, Monster Rancher. You put the discs, like you put different discs in PS1, and then it would read the disc and then give you a new monster.
Ah,
And you fight the monsters and everything. Pretty cool. Well, how was your Labor Day weekend?
I had Labor Day off. I mean, that's good. I mean, of course, I'm always off on Mondays, so I mean, that doesn't really make a whole lot of
Yeah,
difference.
well, so you didn't get like the weekend off. You didn't get like a
No,
long
well,
weekend
I
or
mean, I
anything.
didn't get a long weekend. No, I always work Saturdays. I have Sunday, Mondays off. So Sunday, I went to my mom's house for my great nephew's birthday, and
Right.
we got to see the kids. Hadn't seen them in quite a long time, which was fun. It was good. And then she came back to the house with us tonight, stay the night here with us tonight. And it's been pretty much just laid back today. I went and did a few errands like I always do on Monday, and came back. I played a little bit of gaming myself. I'm that Mr. World of Warcraft. I've been on that again, that little kick here for a while. So I played a
Oh,
little bit of
wow,
that
guy.
today.
You're a
Little
wow guy.
wow, damn, not just a wow, but a classic wow at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty good. I'm not going to complain though. If I ever get this hopeful change of employment, then I'll get lots of holiday weekends at that point. But still no word from that yet. Holding out for that.
Right.
But anyway, this back to the movie at hand today. What we're doing, we are doing best of the best. I got a little something to read about it, so you know what we're talking about, just in case you haven't seen this movie. But today we are going to be kicking it in high gear, rewatching the 1989 martial arts classic. As I said, best of the best. Directed by Robert Radler, this film delivers a powerful blend of intense action, heartfelt drama, and indomitable spirit and competition. Starring a stellar cast led by Eric Roberts, Phillip Rhee, James Earl Jones, and Chris Penn. Best of the Best follows a team of American martial artists as they prepare to face off against Korea's finest in an epic taekwondo tournament. So, in today's
You
episode, we'll explore the film's memorable characters. Travis
the
Brickley,
memorable characters.
Travis
Tommy.
Travis Brickley. Emotional moment,
Travis Brickley.
and the underlying themes of honor, perseverance, and redemption. We'll also discuss the impressive martial arts choreography, the performance that brought this story to life, and how the movie resonated with audiences at the time. Now,
And the excellent 80s sound effects on the punches and kicks.
oh my gosh, yes, yeah. I felt like I was like in the game Kung Fu or something.
Mhm. So
Despite
good.
its cult following today, Best of the Best had a modest run at the box office. It only grossed around $1.7 million domestically, but
Yeah.
its legacy endured, making it a beloved film for fans of martial arts and 80s action cinema. So that's us right there. I mean,
Okay.
that is one of those. That's a definition of a cult classic right there. When you can only make 1.7 million, but still be a relevant movie today for people to watch,
Yeah.
and then you did something right. I would say, right?
Yeah. I would say
So
so.
I would say so. So now, what I want to do real quick here is basically for the people who are watching the video, they'll get a bigger kick out of it than the ones listening to the audio, I'm afraid. But this is the trailer for Best of the Best. I'm just going to put this through here. It's about 2 minutes long, so bear with us just a minute, and we'll get right into the show after that. Here we go.
A team is not a team if you don't give a damn about one another.
You going number 1 or number 2?
Trusted.
Mom, I gotta go.
What does it take to turn 5 uncontrollable characters into one unbeatable team?
Even with my help, it will be difficult, if not nearly impossible, to defeat a team from Korea.
I'm afraid. You need this fight bad. You need this fight for you, man.
I'm here to teach you how to win. Winning isn't a sometime thing. Winning is an all-time thing.
This is the only thing I know I am good at. Don't take that away from me.
You can work. You can sweat. You can train. You can dream and never be better than good. But when the right people come together at the right moment, when they care almost as much about winning as they do about each other, they can become the best of the best.
Someone who knows, someone who wants to win. Only the strong will survive. Reach for the best you have within. There is no compromise. You have to stand up and fight when the challenge is right. Through the tears and the pain, still the glory remains. You see the vision in sight. Put yourself to the test. Be the best of the best.
I'm gonna take your head off.
You got to love those montage scenes, right?
Yes.
The whole-
Today you have the chance to be the greatest martial artist in the world. It's up to you. If you've given everything you've got, if you give everything, you will be winners. I promise you. You can be the best of the best, Simba.
I didn't realize James Earl Jones was joining the show today, man. I mean, that's awesome. How long's he been over there?
42 years.
Are you the father?
Oh, you got me with that one.
For those who get the reference. Oh my gosh.
My favorite is still Tulsa Doom.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. You will.
The riddle of steel. You know it, don't you, boy?
You will die on that mountain, won't you?
Yes.
My gosh. Look. The
riddle of steel. Yes.
It was not an encouragement to bring Arnold out. Okay? It was not one of those.
6 Degrees of Arnold, man.
Man. We have a great cast for this, man. I mean, Eric Roberts First of all, Julia Roberts' brother, Eric Roberts.
Well,
What do you like him in bed? Do you like him best as the hero or the villain? He plays such a good villain.
dude, he's no, yeah, he's got to be the villain. He's got to.
It's not. It's not
Was
that
he not?
It's
Was
not that
he-
he's not good enough for the good guy. He played a good role.
Was
Playing
he
Alexander
not
Grady, he was good.
One of, was he not one in one of the movies? I can't remember if it was a Steven Seagal movie or uh Van Damme or somebody. He was like in a hotel. He was the big bad in it, I think. He wasn't a fighter or nothing, but I don't think he was, but he came out. I just remember this scene in front of the hotel. He's like, "You know me? But you're looking at me like you know me. Looking at me like you kind of like you want to kiss me." He's like he was like, he had such an attitude with it though, man. It was so menacing the way he did it.
That does sound familiar, but when would the movie have come out?
Oh, it would have been the 80s or 90s.
80s or 90s?
For sure, yeah.
I mean, the dude has
He
got
was
like
younger.
years and years and years and stuff of work. He man plays in everything, I swear.
Yeah, dude. I much prefer him to Julia. He doesn't look like he smells like bologna.
Oh my gosh. Julia Roberts does not look like she smells like bologna.
She does.
Where did you get this at?
Fresh bologna. That Carolina Pride with the red ring around it that you're supposed to take off.
Oh, we got to do something about you, I swear.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I would like to find out what that movie is you're talking about, honestly. Eric Roberts, like I say, he's been in everything under the sun.
Oh man, shoot! Let me look.
He was in the Expendables. Was it that you're thinking of?
What was it?
He was in the Expendables. Was it that you're thinking of?
It could have been. It could have been because I know it was him and some old. It was an older action movie, and it was one of the big ones. And they were in front of a daggum hotel, and he was just like, he was so suave and all you know how he's business dressed. He always dressed nice, and so he had the suits on and everything.
Right.
But the way he did it, man, was just, it was so menacing too.
You know, he was also in a movie with Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence and
like, it might have been The Specialist. It might have been him and Sylvester.
I don't remember him in that movie. Honestly, I remember that was the one where he had him and James Woods.
He was Thomas Leon.
Was he in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So James Woods was the Ned Trent, and he was Thomas Leon.
Could very well been. I don't. It seems like I remember the scene.
That's it. About. That's it. No, that is it. That is it. I'm looking at the quote right now.
Okay.
Because Ray turns around and he goes, "Hey, you." He was walking up to him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm talking to you." He said, "You think you know me? I asked you a question." Because he was with the girl. He was with Stone. What's her name? Stone.
Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone. He was with her, and then they had like an interaction or something. He said, but he's like, because the way you looking at me, we must be old friends. Like, where did we meet? Ray's like, nowhere. He said, nowhere, huh? He's like, and did he go? He goes, you like the B word? And he said, maybe you like me, because he didn't say nothing. But yeah.
I know I've seen it.
Yeah, he told him, he said, don't stare so hard. And he pulled out the switchblade. He's like, don't stare so hard. Might could put your eye out or something like that.
Well, I remember him.
It was just a really cool bad guy character out of that one.
For a moment, I was thinking it might have been National Security. He was in that movie.
Yeah.
With Martin Lawrence. And I thought
that
maybe
scene
that
I'm
was
talking about is definitely from The Specialist.
Well, I'm going to go back and rewatch Specialist again now.
But I'll just about watch anything with Eric Roberts in it, dude. He's good. Like I like his characters.
He's got great characters. Now, speaking of, great things he's done, I know you're going to like this guy pretty well, James Earl Jones.
Oh yeah.
And you like him mostly from
I very much like that man.
Mostly from some Conan, I'm sure.
Absolutely. What I'm angry about is if you can get James Earl Jones to come back and do the live action voice of Mufasa in the movie, and you could have got Jeffrey Irons to come back and do Scar. That's why I refuse. I still haven't seen the live action. I'm not going to.
I haven't seen the live action or the cartoon, either one.
Man, I got the Disney representation likeness. I got the likeness of the Disney original Scar tattooed on my body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris. Hey, Chris. Yeah, my baddie. That's how John Mayer would say it. Baddie.
Moving right along to the next person, Miss Sally Kirkland. Now, what do you mean? I've seen in the back of my mind. I've seen her in other things before, and I can't pick another movie out with her in it. Can you? I know I've
Sally
seen her. I know I've seen her in things
and
before.
see, when she came on screen, dude, I was trying to think of what in the world I've seen her from, because what was funny to me was her lazy eye. I'm like, she's supposed to be the hottie of the movie, and I thought her and Tommy hooked up at some point.
No,
Did they
never
hook up?
did.
She's not in the second one, is she?
No, she's not.
Yeah, so
she's known for The Sting. She was in JFK, Something Go Tom in America.
yeah.
I know she's been in quite a few things. I'm just pulling her up right now to scroll down so if I can see here.
Yeah.
80s movie. Well, I'm in the 90s now. 80s movies for her. I'm looking at
She was
Fatal
the
Games.
detective. She was the detective in that movie with Ashley Judd, where she shot her husband, but then she faked her death or something. She killed her husband, but
Yeah,
then she couldn't be
it's called
tried twice.
It's called Double Jeopardy. She was in that.
Yeah,
Okay.
she was the detective in that.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of, because I've seen the movie quite a few times.
That's a really good movie.
It is, actually.
Double Jeopardy is a good movie.
Actually, this is not the same movie though. This is a TV movie called Double Jeopardy. She was in. That's why when you said Double Jeopardy, I'm like, I don't remember her in that movie.
Completely wrong.
I'm afraid you're wrong on this one.
I was completely wrong.
How about that, everybody? He's wrong for a change.
That's
all right.
Got you. Well, then I don't remember her at all. I guess I didn't remember.
You know what? She was in Roseanne.
Okay.
The TV series, Barbara Healy. Maybe I'm thinking of her from that or something.
Looks like she was in a bunch of stuff I've never seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen most of the things that she's got out here either, but still.
Oh well. We're not focusing on that. We're not focusing on their careers so much anymore anyway.
Oh, that's why I said moving on to the next person. I just want to get the cast out there. Just you know, Eric Roberts, James Earl Jones, Sally Kirkland. Now Phillip Rhee. Man, the man can fight. He choreographed a lot of the fight scenes in the movies, if not all of them.
Right.
For here, and he went on to star in more Best of the Best movies. Him and Eric Roberts both went to Best of the Best 2, but Phillip Rhee was the only one left going forward at that point. In 3 and 4, I think there was. So Phillip Rhee, a great martial artist. Man, his real life brother is Simon Rhee, who played Dae-Han in this movie.
Okay.
The guy he's up against fighting.
That's his real life brother?
That is his real life brother, yes.
I had no idea.
Yes, absolutely. You got John Dye, who played Virgil, and he's the one person I'm thinking when I was looking at this. I was like, I know I've seen Virgil in something else before, and I for some reason he reminds me of this guy from one of them, them 80s ninja flicks. I don't know if it's actually him or not, but he reminds me of somebody that I had seen in one of those. Tour of Duty, he was on that. Touched by an Angel.
John Dye. He was the Buddhist, wasn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I am wrong. He was not in that. The earliest thing he was in was from 84, something called Making the Grade. So he was not in one of the. It's not him. He was not in any of those movies.
Okay.
Well, I'm batting over 1,000 so far. He looked just like the dude, though. I swear he did.
He was Private Francis Doc Hawk in the Tour of Duty show. I know for sure. I watched with my dad.
Well, that's what I mentioned earlier. I said Tour of Duty. He was on that.
Yeah. In that.
Now, Sonny Grasso is the character's name. David Agresta.
He was Andrew in Touched by an Angel for 188 episodes. My mama would know who he is. Yeah, my mama would have known him from Touched by an Angel. I didn't watch it as much.
Was that before or after Touched by an Angel? That's after Best of the Best, right? Or was he going on during the show?
I would think it would be after. I'm not sure.
Probably was.
Touched by an Angel.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Moving right along to the next one here, Mr. Chris Penn. Out.
Travis
Brickley. Chris Penn. It's Christopher Penn. When I first saw this, now I know where I know him from. That's Willard right there. That is Willard from Footloose.
Willard from Footloose.
That's when Kevin Bacon teaches how to dance.
For real?
Yes, that's Willard. He has put on some weight,
Heck yeah.
but that is Willard right there. I thought that was great.
I know him as what's his name? Nice Guy Pete, Nice Guy Al, whatever. He was the one that asked Mr. Pink in Reservoir Dogs if he was going to leave a tip.
One of these other guys in here was in that movie with him as well, I believe.
And Reservoir Dogs?
Let's see. Is there someone in this
Nice
movie
Guy
called
Eddie?
somebody named Eddie Bunker in here?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. He may be listed further down in the entire crew, maybe not in the main ones. But someone named Eddie Bunker that was in this movie was also in the other movie with him.
Oh, yeah. Eddie Bunker was Mr. Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who was Eddie Bunker in this movie?
He's got to be somebody that's just like not important role or something. Maybe he was somebody in the bar fight or something. I don't know.
Okay.
He's not listing anything else. Tom Everett was in the movie as Don Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was the guy who was. Well, no, that's John P. Ryan. I'm thinking of who was Jennings. John P. Ryan plays the guy who was always talking with Coach Cuso, about putting the team together.
Yo.
Tom Everett, I'm drawing a blank on though. Was he one of the trainers?
Maybe.
Don Peterson. No, Don Peterson. He's the guy who was there bringing all the. He had all the stuff on. He had all the information.
Oh, he was
on all
the main
fights.
assistant coach.
Yeah, all the stuff from all the fights and everything before they brought Sally Kirkland in. Sally Kirkland. We failed to mention a while ago. Sally Kirkland's playing Catherine Wade. She was brought in as a help by Mr. Jennings, played by John P. Ryan. She's supposed to help them with in other aspects. She's
she is going to
a master of her own
minds and their souls, because only when your mind, body, and soul are one.
That's what she was basically saying to them. She's real soft spoken, basically trying to help them put their minds away from the pain and everything.
And the thing that you heard earlier, where she said, what was it? Winning isn't a habit. It's something you do. What was it? Or winning is a habit. I don't remember how it was she said it, but winning isn't a habit, losing is, or something like that. But she made that little speech, and then she goes, they were like, "Oh, that was very nice." She's like, "That was Vince Lombardi." I was like,
right.
"Yeah,
right, straight out of the football." Oh my gosh, Louise Fletcher. I'll tell you the reason why I'm saying her in just a few minutes. But Louise Fletcher played Alexander Grady's mom. She doesn't have a lot of screen time, really, but she is one of the few people in this movie who is either won or was nominated for an Oscar. I think it was.
Oh, cool.
Or an award of some sort. Matter of fact, and she's also appeared in Jack Nicholson films. Her and John P. Ryan both have. She was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, while John P. Ryan appeared in 5 Easy Pieces.
Gotcha.
But the part about the film stars one Oscar winner, which is Louise Fletcher. She's the Oscar winner.
Yeah.
And it might be for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'm not sure. I know that was a big movie back in the day. And the three nominees were Eric Roberts, James Earl Jones, and Sally Kirkland.
It looks like Mr. James Liu has got an Emmy.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know what he got it for.
Yeah, I have no idea either, but I mean,
probably. See, he was big in stunt coordinating. He's done tons of stunt coordinations, stunt rigging, fight coordinations.
Or it could be for that, then.
Helicopter, like he has done a lot of the stunts, like flying helicopters and stuff.
Yeah, he's probably got Emmy in that field right there.
He probably does, because his list of movies that he's been a coordinator and performer and stuff like that is as long as you could print it out and lay down beside it.
Well, as far as movies, let's get to the movie itself. Not just the stars. We pretty much covered the cast that I wanted to cover as far as getting their names out there. And well, I'll actually,
he was a fight coordinator. Hold on, one more thing about James Liu. He was a fight coordinator in one of your favorite movies of all time.
I know, Big Trouble in Little China, wasn't he?
Yeah, sure was.
I'm looking at him right now. Say he was Seijin Kwan.
Yeah, he's impressive. This dude's got an impressive resume.
Definitely been around. I think
So anyway,
Sejin Kwan was the one that faced Alex Grady, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and then Dahan Park was the one that did that played by Simon. I was going to say Simon.
Yeah, because
Reed.
he was the one. Yeah, because he's like Alexander Grady, Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, that's the
all
one.
about you.
That's the one. I want to say something with this movie first of all before we get too deep into it. A lot of people like to make fun of this movie a little bit. They make fun of it because of certain scenes in it, like what you were building upon right there. The Koreans had stepped forward, starting with Dahan.
Oh, they were giving him the medals.
He was given a medal because he knew he'd been beat. He knew he truly lost.
Yeah.
And he humbled himself and brought himself to Tommy Lee because years earlier he had fought Tommy Lee's brother and killed him in competition.
Right.
It wasn't on purpose, but I mean he died at his hands. And that's one of the things, one of the drama parts of the movie is Tommy knows that he's the one that fought his brother. And there's this scene in the movie based on that where he's thinking back about his brother being killed and he drops this ice cream cone, right? And the camera focuses on the ice cream cone hitting the ground and the look of the kid or something. So a lot of people make fun of that scene because but it's the whole.
The thing about that scene though is even as much as I was into this movie, as much as I was watching it and I was dead in on it yesterday, that scene's pretty terrible. I will say when the kid dropped his ice cream, that one particular part it nearly took me out of the movie.
A lot of people say that. I mean,
it really
get it. I get it though. I mean, it's what he's thinking back to and remembering, and that's the last thing he remembers is he dropped his ice cream cone when he's seen what happened and stuff. Because it goes back to it later in the movie, reflecting back on it when he decides he's going to leave because he feels like he hurt Virgil with that kick he put in when Coach Cuso made him put his power into it.
I think if they hadn't been cutting to the flashbacks while they were doing that scene, it would have worked because the older brother gave the little boy the ice cream that dropped his ice cream. The older brother was there and gave it to him, and that's what kind of kicked him back. So I feel like if they hadn't been doing the because we already knew by then, they'd already shown 2 or 3 times dropping the ice cream. If they had left the flashbacks out of that one little part right there, I think it would have made that scene work. But the way that they did it, it was just too cheesy.
I don't think they had to do it more than once though either.
Yeah,
you could have left it at the one time and we would have got it.
Right.
Later in the movie, as he's leaving, he sees something similar about these 2 kids, and one kid drops his ice cream cone, and the older brother gives him his to replace.
That's the part that I'm talking about. That's the part that I was talking about. Nearly took me out of the movie when he was leaving. He quit. I can't do this, like you said when he kicked that dude. That was the actual part of it, and I was like, man.
Well, see, that part I get though, why they had that in there, because it's reminding himself of what he's fighting for, what he's doing.
Yeah,
and he sees that, and he realizes he's really doing the wrong thing. He turns around to go back. So
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. That's the only part of the movie that I feel like was not done well.
Now, there's another part where people also make fun of.
Yeah,
and I thought it was, I thought it was a good part of the movie, and it's powerful too, as far as the dramatic parts of the movie.
Was it Eric when he come back? You want me to beg? Okay, fine, I'll beg.
No,
Okay,
no, not that. But that was cool too, though. I mean, he shows a different side of himself. He's not just the Dawson fighter or something. He's got
he was putting some of that Charleston
softer side to him.
He was putting some of that Charlton Heston, whatever.
Charlton Heston.
Charlton Heston. Say it again.
Leave his name out of your mouth, you darn dirty ape.
Charlton Heston. Yeah, Charlton Heston. He was doing some of that Charlton Heston overact in there.
Yeah, it was
my favorite Charlton Heston.
He was putting a bit on it.
My favorite Charlton Heston scene. I don't remember what movie it was, or just one that was on TV. He was like holding on to the mast of a ship, and there was this crazy storm going. And he was just had his fist pumping in the air. He's like, "Damn you to hell!" I was like, that's amazing.
I don't know if he overacted that bad when he was asking to come back to the team. I mean, he was begging though. He said, "You want me to beg, don't you?"
Yeah, he had shades. that was the Charlton Heston acting school where he learned that from. It wasn't nobody could do it like Charlton.
But no, the
What
scene
was the one you were talking about though?
the scene I was talking about is when he's in the fight with Sejin Kwan.
Yeah.
And Sejin Kwan does that kick where he comes that to his shoulder and damages the shoulder, or he hurts the shoulder that was already damaged. They've been replaced with, like plastic and everything else. Yeah. And the scene is exactly right there when he goes over there and he's like, this is where people think the overacting came in, how he's in pain and everything, how he's acting while he's in pain, and which I thought it was spot on.
I thought it was great. They had never had anything dislocated then, because like he was putting it on, man. Yeah.
And he's telling Tommy he wants him to pop it, and they're like, nope, you're done with. They're saying the coach is like, nope, you're done, Alexander. That's it. He says no. He's like, Tommy, pop it. That's why I got on my thing here. Here's Tommy, pop it, Tommy, pop it.
Pop it, Tommy.
So he goes ahead and does it, and he screams his blood-curdling scream. And his kid's in the stand with his mom, where Coach Guso had paid to get them in there to watch him. And you could feel it when you watch it, how much that you almost feel how much the kid's hurting from watching it happen and hearing his dad yell in pain and everything. That's why I say I don't see why why people make fun of the scene. So
I don't get that one either. I think that's phenomenal. Honestly, I almost had my arm ripped off by a conveyor, not a belt, but a chain. It's a conveyor track that we used to use to move steel, big steel. We're talking like beams, big steel beams that they build buildings with. Matter of fact, I think we were doing the ceiling to Little John Coliseum when this happened. But I got mine pulled out of socket at work because had a glove that got caught on, and we didn't have it locked out and tagged out like it was supposed to, and it just started pulling, dude, and it was like you could hear it like popping, and it was ringing in my ear and everything, and bro,
what was worse, coming out or going back in?
Going back in for sure, because as it's pulling out, you're just like when it pops out, it's like it kind of goes numb when it pops, or when it goes out, it just like everything starts burning. Or it did for me. Everything went to burning all the way up in my neck. My ear was ringing. But when Benny was like, do you trust me? Because I was back before doctor's orders. I really technically wasn't even supposed to be there, because I was still technically, by OSHA standards, should have still been out on a doctor's note. Yeah. So Benny's like, man, we're going to all get fired. We didn't have this thing locked out and tagged out or nothing. It was like, he's like, you trust me? I was like, yeah, man, just do it. He put his foot right up underneath my daggum, like in my armpit. And then like twisted my arm and and just straightened his leg and pulled all at one time, dude. Yeah, and I screamed like that. That shit, it is not fun, dude.
I don't imagine it is fun. It looks painful, and I didn't want any part of it.
I was crazy
for sure. But he comes back in. This is where Sally Kirkland comes into play, right? She's telling him, she's in his ear. She's like, put your mind someplace else. The pain is not there. There is no pain, and she's talking.
Well, that's the other weird thing about it, though. Once it goes back into socket, it's throbbing. It hurts, but it's nothing like it was. It's like it's quick.
He's probably felt like he's got relief based on what it was earlier. Even though it's still hurting, and it's not. He's got it all taped around, having it taped up and everything. So he's not moving it. So the thing is, they're like, just stay away from him, and run. Yeah,
because it's weak. It's weak for weeks afterwards, because it pulls your muscles too. Like you'll get torn muscles and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they made fun of that part. I thought that part was awesome.
I don't either. That was one of the best. But at the end of the movie, between that and the final fight, I thought that was two of the best parts of the movie for me. The whole Grady Sejin Kwan fight and the Tommy Lee and Daehan, with all the stuff that they had done. So that was just something extra, thrown in there. I thought was really great.
What on an overall scope, like just all together, I just want to ask you this, because I just thought about something that makes this movie really truly stand out to me among others, especially of this time period, or any other. What an overall arcing story, or the entirety of the movie, what's one of the main things that makes this movie stand out among its peers to you?
Among other movies, like they're like other martial arts movies and such, you mean? Or
sure, they're in general. It's movies of the time, or martial arts movies. Yeah,
I mean it's a different type of martial arts movie for one. I mean it's tournament based, Like it's
Right.
part of. I don't want to say if it. Did they ever say it was part of like an Olympics of any kind, or was it
They
just
made it feel like that the entire time, but
they
it was some
did?
kind of world championship.
Yeah, like a world championship tournament. They're going where they're training for. You're putting your best of your best fighters together for a team to face off against another country. It's not the typical kind of action movie we got back in that time. You
Right.
get the typical kind of things of story though, where
And they went through
nobody liked each
preliminaries.
other at first, right?
And then they went through preliminaries too to choose the team
Right.
of
So you
5
get a
guys.
feel of maybe something like that. That made me think of Karate Kid for some reason because the tournament they were having going on. That
Right.
wasn't a qualifying tournament; it was just a tournament. But it gave me that same feel where they were at.
No, at the beginning of the movie, that's how they picked the team.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
That
Oh,
whole
you mean
tournament
Karate
back
Kid wasn't
then.
quite? Yeah. Okay, my bad. My bad.
So in the Karate Kid, when he goes to the actual tournament at the end of the first movie,
Yeah.
and you're seeing in the background all these different mats and people fighting and everything and
Mhm.
getting qualifiers and moving forward.
Right.
Basically, it just made me think of that and everything. So, but you got how the typical thing where they don't like each other at first. A lot of them don't, and you're having to come together as a team, and you eventually finally see at one point where the biggest problem is Travis Brickley.
Yeah,
played by
I was
Christopher Penn.
I was gonna work that in somehow. Just in a minute, I was going. You like it because Travis was the asshole.
No, he's not. He's not even my, close to being one of my favorites in this movie or anything.
Yeah,
But I mean,
I like him. He was hilarious. He was definitely the comedy relief in it.
he is, and he's definitely a butt for sure. When he gets there, they're at the bar. Okay, they go after the team has been picked by Kuzo. He tells them to go to the bar. This is their last night out. Maybe they're lucky. Maybe they'll find them a woman. It's based on the talent in town and their standards. I highly doubt it.
Mhm.
But so they go out to this bar. It looks like I guess it's a little dance bar, country western dance bar
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of feel.
See that line
Travis sees a woman who's not dancing or anything. She just leaned up against the wall, right? So he goes and he asks her to dance, and she does. Now, did you notice who the guy was that was her boyfriend?
Dude, I want to say that was Diamond Dallas Page. I don't know if it
No.
was, but that's who I thought it was. When I first saw him, I said, dude, is that like
No.
a young,
Can-
fat Diamond Dallas Page?
Can I give you a hint?
Give me one. Was it Kane Hodder?
It's Kane Hodder.
Because Kane Hodder, they both got those bubble eyes, man. The bubble eyes
knew.
with the cheeks and stuff. Yep, that's what it was in. It's Kane Hodder. Okay,
I
I
knew
can see
you'd-
that totally.
I knew you'd get it if I put that out there.
Yeah.
Kane Hodder. So when he
Yeah,
realizes
it immediately makes sense because of his size and everything. Because I was like, no, that ain't DDP.
No.
Yeah, it didn't hit me that it was Kane.
What I thought was funny was, and it's not funny because he hit the woman or anything, but Kane, the guy, he says, "Hey, Bert, you might want to check the dance floor out." And he looks and sees what's going on. So he goes over there and he tells Brickley, "It's about far enough, fella, but as far as you're gonna get." And she's like, "Oh, you just noticed I'm gone." She goes, "Go away, Bert." He's like, "Yeah, Bert, go away." And he goes to dancing floor. So he goes to pull him out and punch him, and he dodges and he punches her square in the mouth with his fist. And he's just all mad and everything, and he's upset that he hit her. He's trying to see to her and Travis, Travis Brickley form. Well, that's it, Bert. Don't take no lip off of her now.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. Oh my God. He was so funny through the whole movie.
And then you see at the bar, you see Grady going, "Well, it didn't take Mr. Personality long, did it?" And Tommy's like, "Man, I don't like to fight. I don't want to fight."
Yeah, Tommy didn't want to fight the whole movie.
So they go up there to kind of break things up, and Tommy's like treating them like kindergartners, clapping his hands, going, "That's enough. Tell him you're sorry. Tell him you're sorry."
We'll buy you guys a beer. We'll forget about it. So that's what. So you like the way that it was set up with the tournament and all that stuff? It's kind of nostalgic.
I like the way that they picked out the way they went about picking out the team was good. You know, your little tournament there to people to move forward and everything. I don't even know if they were picked out of winning and moving forward, or if it was picked because Kuso was making notes, him and the other guy, about all the fighters they were looking at out there and who they wanted, because they needed certain fighters to match up with certain people. They didn't exactly take the best fighters, because think about it. If they took the best fighters that there was, then you wouldn't see Sonny Grasso on the thing, I don't think.
Yeah.
You probably also wouldn't have seen the guy that played Virgil Keller.
Yeah.
I don't think you would have.
Maybe not.
Knowing who they wanted to match up against.
Yeah. Yeah, because they had all the tapes that they had been doing, and they matched them up specifically as their styles versus the other person's style or personality
Right.
too.
And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's what they did. The biggest thing was getting them to come together as a team and, to realize that and to get the true potential out of each one, knowing they would need it for who they're going to go up and fight against. That's like why Tommy Lee needed to get that full potential out, like the power in his kicks and everything that he's got. He was holding back and not doing anything. He didn't want to hurt nobody. So, and it's like having a fight with the sparring in the ring with Travis.
Mm-hmm.
He's throwing him to the ground and stuff like that and getting some kicks and punches in, but he's not nothing behind it really. And then, he goes to, I guess, they go to bow and he goes to kick Tommy in the face when he does, which I thought was funny. He catches his foot and turns around, just slams him down face first to the ground, and still wouldn't hit him at that point. As he tried to take a cheap shot on him. But
heck yeah.
As far as this movie goes, what about you? I mean, what is it you think stands out about the movie?
Honestly, to me, so all of the above, to echo what you said, but I think the thing for me that makes this movie stand out among its peers and among other movies just in general is how you had Alex and Tommy. Like everybody was a central character somewhat, but Alex and Tommy were like, it's like Phillip Rhee and Eric Roberts were the two. You had co-stars. They were real co-stars. Like and then through the series too, Best of the Best, Best of the Best and Best of the Best too, and then moving on into the others, it was of course. But Tommy's the one you immediately think of, but you think of Eric Roberts too. You think of Alex. So it's like you had these simultaneous main stories going because they didn't invest that kind of time into like Brick and Virgil and all of them. It was the stories was about Alex and Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
For mostly. So the way that they did that, the way that they had those two, so you had the underlying, it wasn't underlying, it was an overarching theme of becoming a team and working together and being as one and all. Just the way that they did such an impeccable job of having two stars who you cared the same for. Like if you had to pit them against each other, you wouldn't be able to decide who you wanted to win the fight. You know what I mean? So it's like Alex and Tommy both being the stars of the movie without it being like a buddy cop thing, like a Tango and Cash thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I think that they did that as well as it's ever been done before in this movie, having two simultaneous storylines running congruently. And
right, and then when you go forward to Best of the Best 2, which they're more like family at that point.
Yeah, it's because Travis gets killed and they're wanting revenge on what's his face for that.
Even Travis was like family to him, because Alex's son Walter was calling him Uncle Travis.
Yeah, well, Walter was the one that seen him get killed too.
Right,
he was in that. Well, it was some new fighting ring or something.
It was an underground fighting. I forget exactly what they called it, but it was underground fighting of some sort.
The
great
Coliseum
movie.
Or something.
There you go, the Coliseum.
Yeah, I think the second one's better than the first one, to be honest.
Oh man, you know what? I mean,
it's a hard one, isn't it? That's a hard one, dude. But the second one wouldn't be what it is without the first one. You wouldn't you wouldn't care about the second one without the first one.
And
so can you really say that?
I really love the first movie, but the second one has better fights and a little bit better, more of a fun story for me.
Yeah.
Because when I watch a movie, I want to see something that's not very realistic, right? I'm not looking for something because Best of the Best could be something very much based on a true story or something for all we know.
For real. I mean, this is because it has that very Olympic team feel to it.
Right.
It's America versus Korea. And one of the guys in Korea is a ruthless, been known to take somebody's life and break bones and this and that. And the guy Travis was fighting, they were talking about, he puts people in the hospital all the time. So I mean, it's like,
we'll take a moment and we'll do Best of the Best 2, but we'll have to do it just for the YouTube channel. So it won't be a part of the audio here, unfortunately, but those of you who are listening to the audio know about the YouTube channel, and we'll have extra stuff on there, obviously. that you can see. So Best the Best 2 would fall under there, and we'll try and do that soon. If we do it, we'll make an announcement that we did it though.
Heck yeah.
So that'll be fun. A couple little tidbits about here that I thought was cool. Chuck Liddell names Best the Best his favorite all-time martial arts movie.
Nice.
And everybody knows who the Iceman is, I believe.
Oh,
if you've
yeah.
watched UFC at any point in time, you should know who the Iceman Chuck Liddell was. The character Walter Grady, the son, is named after the father of Eric Roberts, Walter Grady Roberts. Little nod of the head to him. The movie Best the Best. This is the only film in the sequels to get a PG-13 rating. The rest of them were all rated R.
Yeah, the violence and the blood and all that.
Yeah. Now there's a woman in this movie named Melanie Kinnaman, and I don't know if it's the woman that was supposed to be with Bert, because she's just listed as woman in bar.
Yeah.
But there's a woman that Virgil meets and spills his hot coffee on.
Yeah.
And gets her to go dance. So I mean, it could be one of the two. But a little fun fact was Kane Hodder and Melanie Kinnaman, two people in the movie that have also been in Friday the 13th movies.
Where he hit her twice.
If it was her. Simon Reed plays Dahan Park. You seen this one? First person to use what is called the Superman punch. Man, I wonder if that's real.
Yeah.
Of all the people out there, you tell me he's the only person to come up with the idea to go running into someone, fist back, and going forward to follow through, like he called the Superman punch. He might have been the one who come up with it first, but you know who does it the best?
It's gonna have to be probably John Jones.
You think John Jones? You think John Jones?
Yeah, because I know you ain't about to say no Roman Reigns.
I was gonna say the fake wrestler Roman Reigns. That's what I was gonna say, man. Because not only does he run and get some air under his feet, get that arm come back and follow forward, he takes the time to cock the arm in place,
And everything. Yeah, I just can't stand Roman Reigns. I'm not gonna give Roman Reigns any credit other than the fact that he's a pretty tough dude for living with lupus and doing what he does.
That's
the only respect he gets from me.
I didn't know it was lupus that he had. I knew he had problems with something else, but I didn't know it was lupus.
And maybe it is something. I thought it was lupus. It's something else. It's some kind of cancer, not cancer.
Yeah, it's the stuff you get like in the bone marrow.
Yeah, that's lupus.
Well, they wouldn't call it lupus. They called it something else though. And I'm drawing a blank on it because we're not doing the show on Roman Reigns anyway. I can't think of what it's called.
Right.
But,
how about another cool thing about Kane Hodder playing different roles in the first three movies of this series? He played Bert in the bar.
Yes.
And he was one of the security men in the second one. And then at the end of it, he's one of the white supremacists at the showdown at the end.
Right. And that's something. He's crazy. They love him in this series.
Everybody loves Kane Hodder, man.
They must. I mean, because
I've missed three opportunities to meet him. I can't wait to get to.
Oh, have you really? He was. I've missed him as well. He was at one of the horror cons here in Nashville, and I didn't get to go to that horror con when he came in. So,
heck yeah,
I definitely missed that. Sally Kirkland said her audition consisted of two things: standing on her head and doing a back bend. That was the. I guess that she had to make it believable that she was going to teach the kind of things she was preaching to them.
The yoga and stuff. Yeah.
Are you flexible yourself?
Yeah.
So, and Rob Garrison from Iron Eagle and the Karate Kid. Peter Kawanko, Date with an Angel and Solar Babies, and Robert Brian Wilson from Silent Night and Deadly Night were all considered for the role of Sonny Grosso before the producers decided on David Agresta.
Okay.
I think Rob Garrison could have played a good role in that. I think he could have pulled it off really well.
Oh, I think he could have swapped out a lot of these guys. I mean, honestly.
The only two that I don't feel comfortable swapping out though,
Alex and Tommy.
Yeah, that's the two.
Alex
because
and Tommy,
they're the two main ones, and they played those roles so well.
That's what I'm saying. I cannot think of a movie that is not. You think about Tango and Cash or Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man and stuff like that. And you've got these two names, and it's the box office thing. But when you watch this, I mean, of course, Eric Roberts it's you can't deny that he's a megastar, but you can also not claim that he's on the level of, say, and a Sylvester Stallone or Harley Davidson. Come on, Mickey Rourke and them. You know what I mean? At that time, anyway. So you take him and Tommy Lee. I would think at this time, too, relatively or by comparison, unknown or lesser known stars, and have them have such a great, have this work out the way it did. Like, it wasn't meant to be a buddy cop movie. It wasn't meant to it wasn't billed as Eric Roberts and Phillip Rhee, or Alex and Tommy. It wasn't anything like that.
Right.
This thing, I feel like that just that just happened naturally in this movie, which made it to me more genuine than any other movie of that has that kind of simultaneous. And see, the other movies too, they work that into a partnership. This is like a generic partnership because we're following the storyline of these two guys. It wasn't like they were meant to be. Yeah, it just, this feels like the most generic and what do you call it? Genuine partnership in a storyline.
Well, I mentioned earlier it only made 1.7 million. It was only budgeted 5 million. There wasn't a large budget to come back and make. I mean, they still didn't make it, I know, but I got something I want to say here. Opening weekend, US and Canada, 990,000. Guess who contributed to that money right
in
there?
1980?
That was me.
Yeah. You got to think too. That was 1989 too, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's see. How much was $1 million in 1989 today? You know what I mean? What
would 1.7 million be today due to inflation?
In 1987 be today?
Oh, it was 89.
Oh, was it 89?
Yeah.
Well, prices didn't change that much back then.
About in 2 years it didn't.
Today. So I'm just curious to see, like, what would 1 million in 1989 be today? $118,000. That's the equivalent in British pounds, though. It didn't give me the American. You know what I mean?
The difference is only 118,000.
The purchasing power is what it would say, or what it would be. So 1 million in 1989 is equivalent in purchasing power to about 2,536,612 today.
Okay.
So you could say it's doubled, basically.
Easily. Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much it we got for the movie. Unless you got something else you want to add to it this week for this movie. Anything left in the tank there for you want to put out?
No, just if you hadn't seen it, go watch it. You know what I mean? I know we moved away from our new format a little bit and got into the cast a little bit, but this is a good one, and the cast deserves it too. Like, hopefully we might get one of these people on one day.
I think we couldn't help go a little into the cast. We didn't mean to go too deep into their histories or nothing, but
best of the best. Like, this is one of, like, if you're our age, man, this has to be one of your favorite movies. Like, even if it's in your top 20, I know it's no lower than that if you've ever seen it. You know what I mean? Or you grew up with it, because like this movie is legendary, man.
Yeah, and definitely a great movie. So, well, just to put it out there before we go, make sure you're following us on the social medias at Facebook and Instagram. We are on YouTube as well, where we're putting more and more videos up. I just uploaded 3 or 4 this past week from the archive to get out there. I think with Blade and Batman being the 2 most recent that I had put up there. So if you're a fan of Blade or Michael Keaton's Batman, go check it out.
I'm Batman.
I believe Travis had a good time with both those episodes.
Oh yeah,
I know he did.
I love it.
Where was that? Oh, if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, make sure you drop it to us in the email at retrolifeforyou@gmail.com. We are on anywhere you get your podcast at. 2 main ones we focus on, those Spotify and iTunes. And if you want to watch us online, you can go to the website, www.retrolife4u.com. You can stream us in the browser, and usually later in the day when it releases, or by next day for sure, the video is available to watch in the show notes. Speaking of, in the show notes, if you want to help support the show, there is a link you can click on in there, and it enables you to help support the show in different ways. It's like basically like a tip jar is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So it gives you several options to choose from if you want to, and that'll go toward the future of getting other people on the show or revamping some of the things we got for graphics and music and things of that nature for the show as well. So, Travis, do you have anything this week that you want to depart with?
Yeah, I got some news. I watch a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. Keep up with Joe Rogan and them a lot, and I found out that since we're talking about the tournaments and stuff, Dana White does like the slap fest thing. What is it? What you're talking about? Like he's got his fingers in a lot of stuff. So they're starting a new one, and basically it's full contact for kind of like, but they're calling it MPA. It's kind of like going to be like the King of the Ring type thing. You know what I mean? Like the UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's for amputees only. It's called MPA, Mixed Martial Arts.
Oh my God.